A little bit with local storage in our browser. We already have a browser window open here. First, let's confirm that local storage is a thing. Why can't I get anything to work? What's going on here? There you go. Local storage. Yeah, it's a thing. I got some crap in there from the morning. So we learned about localStorage.clear. Okay, not anymore. So local storage is this storage object with a length of 0. Let's say localStorage.setItem. First name, Davey, that'll work. Local storage, get item, first name. We get back the string Davey. It worked. Now the dev tools give us some convenient ways to inspect local storage. On this application tab, you'll see several forms of storage, one of which is, in fact, local storage. And right now it's not, I'm going to hide and show my dev tools again. There we go. So it's scoped by site. My site right now is file:// because we're just running this not from a web server, but from our local file system. And I see key, first name, value, Davey. So another easy way to confirm that the stuff I expect is there. Easy enough. So what if I want to make a student? Let student equal first name, Davey, last name, Struce, local storage.setItem, student. Okay, I was happy to do it. Student, value, object. That's what happens when you convert an object to a string by default. What about an array? Make an array, apple, orange, banana. Local storage.setItem, fruit. What's that look like? Oh, we get apple, orange, banana with commas in between. So it's a slightly more useful string, but if I tried to turn that back into an array, that wouldn't work. So this object thing is concerning. What can we do? We said json.stringify. Pass it my object. See what we get back. All right. We get a string containing JSON. Looks an awful lot like a JavaScript object, doesn't it? You'll notice it has put double quotes around the key and the value. That's not optional in JSON. You must use quotes, and they must be double quotes. It is invalid JSON to use single quotes, and you must quote your keys. So to turn that back into an object, JSON parse that thing. So let's first of all save this somewhere. Let's say let student string equal JSON stringify student. Okay. JSON parse student string. And we get back an object, first name, last name. So let's try local storage, set item, student. Instead of passing the student object, let's pass in student string. Check it out. There we see that string as we expect. If we do local storage get item, student, There's our string. Let's save that somewhere. Student from storage equal local storage get item student. Let's look at student from storage. That's a string, right? It's a string that looks like an object. But if I tried to say student from storage dot first name, couldn't do it right because I'm trying to get first name of a string, which isn't a property on a string. But if I said json.parse student from string, student from storage, excuse me, then I get the actual object. Knowing all this, let's check out that fruit array too while we're at it. Local storage, set item, fruit, JSON stringify the array. Now it's got the brackets there. So if I get item, I get it back as a string. If I call JSON parse on that, I get back an actual array. Now conveniently, as we were adding students and such to our roster, we were keeping track of them all in this array. We weren't just adding list items to an unordered list on the page, right? That's just the presentation. The real data was inside this array. We were maintaining the state of our application. In other words, the current state of all the data. That represents what's going on in our app at this moment, at any given time. That's what that array there is for. So heck, we could just save that to local storage, it seems like, right? Gosh darn right. So maybe every time we add a student, just make sure we've put them on the array first. Let's just say at the bottom here, local storage, set item. I'll call it roster. Could call it student. Calling it roster mostly just to make the point that the name's not magic. It doesn't have to be the same as any of your variable names or anything. It's just a name we choose. We'll call it roster, and we will set it to json.stringify this.students. Array, right? Let's start over from scratch here first. Local storage.clear. Refresh the page. Try adding someone. There's Billy. There's Nick. So let's look at mega roster.students. There's our array. 2 people in there. What about local storage.getItem roster? Huh. It's the array of objects as a string. What if we call JSON parse on that? We get the object back. Not too tough. So just making this one change does that. Ah, what if I remove somebody? Well, heck, we haven't even removed them from the array yet, have we? We stopped short of that yesterday. Megaroster.students, yeah, it's still got 2 people in it. So we're going to have to make that work. But we can't forget, if we change our array, we also need to update local storage, right? Because we want to keep them in sync. Okay. So at least we've got them saving to local storage after we add them. Add students to local storage when adding them to the page.